Thursday morning, 8 o'clock on December 12th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Stephanie Joseph.
I'm Abby Fridman. Welcome to ARC Rochester. Coming up this morning, we're going to be talking about holiday shopping and overspending. Specifically, how to maximize your budget to check everything off your list.
And then it's National Gingerbread House Day, so we're looking at a local tradition to celebrate. Members from the Georgia Eastman House will be here to talk about the sweet creations on display.
Before all of that, we got to talk about the forecast. It is a hot topic of conversation, and it is causing a messy morning drive. Marty, some significant snow out there this morning.
Yeah, a lot of snow, and unfortunately, a lot of it is lined up right over the metro area, which has really caused road conditions to deteriorate. If we could take a look at radar and go through things and show you exactly how things are playing out. The good news is we're seeing at least that snow pull away from a lot of the population center. Notice that southward shift across Monroe County. Not so good news for areas throughout southern Monroe County, northern Livingston, even into portions of southern Genesee, northern Wyoming counties. You can see that band really come together, and that is going to be that southward push that we will see. So again, this band is going to pull away from Rochester. A lot of that holding especially to the south. Here's a look right around noon. Notice mainly south of the thruway during that time frame, and I think that'll be the theme for much of the remainder of the event, heading towards the early evening hours. There it is through Wyoming County, and then after that it just passes down into the southern tier and becomes a non-issue, and longer term looks pretty quiet. Here's a look at the future snow that we could still see out of it, and you can see that southward focus for a lot of it. Again, some areas throughout Livingston County, Ontario County, seeing a few more inches of snow out of this, whereas portions of Wyoming County could be more of a 4 to 6 inch range of additional accumulation going through the day today. So again, bottom line, that push is going to be to the south for a lot of that heavier accumulation for the rest of the day, after already seeing it in more of the Rochester area for the initial part of the day.
Yeah, we've seen whiteout conditions in some spots too early this morning, and still quite a few motor vehicle accidents out there on the road. Let's see if we can pull up some of the traffic cameras. I think we've got some of those showing off the delays out there right now. Yikes. Yeah, okay, 390, 490, and 590 all experiencing delays there. 590 is where we're seeing the biggest issues. Yeah, thank you, Steph. Pulling up some of the traffic cameras, you see traffic still crawling around there. 490.
Yeah, 390 at 590. We did see a massive slowdown earlier today. On that side, everything seems to be moving along a bit better, but 390 at Chi-Light, not really moving all that much. Moving a little bit compared to earlier. Not so much of a parking lot, but things definitely not going along a lot more than a parking lot, for example. Taking a look here, 390 at Brooks Avenue, 490 at Mount Reed. Things are looking a bit better compared to this morning, but you do see 10 minutes. We're not used to that much of a slowdown in this area during this morning commute. You see a school bus there, not really common for a lot of people in our area. We do have some delays that we have been reporting about throughout the morning, and we do have that on 13wham.com. 590 at Empire Boulevard, 31 minutes. That is a long commute there. You can see a lot of red in that area. We've been reporting about accidents throughout this morning.
Yeah, and let's get to the Van Bortle Subaru. Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry, let's see if we can pull up the Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker. There we go, out on Winton for us right now. Stopped. Looks like the plows have been through that area, salt trucks as well, but you still can see some flakes falling right now. We're going to keep our eye on that snow. As we make our way through the day today, I'm wondering if we can pull up the traffic camera one more time. We skipped past it there right at the very end. Yeah, let's see if we can flip through them. Producer Hannah, was that the throughway camera that we were talking about earlier? Because it looked like a whiteout condition. Yeah, Steph, if you don't mind just clicking through these. There we go. 90 at Henrietta. Look at that. That is disgusting out there. And it just goes to show you how interesting lake effect snow is, right, Marty? Because some spots, you know, it's clear, and then you look at that, and it's garbage. Sorry, it's gross.
Yeah, it is. That explains it. That's not scientific, but it explains exactly what's going on.
Yeah, like the different bands.
We're seeing that band continue to push south. So again, that is going to be that issue mainly south of Rochester. So again, it is hitting that thruway corridor now, and it will sink south of that throughout the rest of the morning. So we are seeing that southward push, and even some of those traffic cameras that we did show. It shows that I think it was a Winton Road one. That's probably a lot of backups from 590. People are getting off 590, taking those surface streets. So even areas that don't have a lot of snow on them. It's just those backups from all that traffic that's just trying to find that extra route to get around everything, which is causing those delays in areas that usually don't see those delays.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we can pull up some VO earlier this morning. 590, that was at Highland Avenue, I want to say, exit 2 in that area. There was quite a pileup. Our Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker catching that just along. You see first responders there earlier this morning. I want to say that was around 5.
Yep.
And quite a response. That maybe that slowdown has to do with just trying to clean up that pileup that was happening. I believe a few cars were involved in this.
Yeah, I think 4 is what we determined. And you can see all that slush out there on the roads. Crews have been working to clear that, but we know the snow is still coming down. They can only work so hard and cover so much ground. Do we have any other video that we can pull up? Because we had the, yes, flat. Okay, let's see. Tractor trailer jackknifed there. Yeah, Marty, remind me again what this on-ramp is.
Yeah, this is going from Allen Street to, let's see, that's
right.
490 eastbound. So right by the fire station, the Allen Street fire station there. If you get on that ramp there, that's that ramp that we're talking about. And you can see earlier this morning, it was a case where that ramp was actually blocked. So there are a lot of people who were going up that ramp, and there you can see that one guy had to back down. And that was the case for a while. They didn't actually block off the ramp, but they were there trying to kind of give people a heads up on 490 that the accident was there. But a lot of people were going up that ramp and then having to back right back down because it was totally blocked off.
You know, you never want to say that this is a good thing, but it's fortunate that it happened so early in the morning so that those cars were able to back up without any kind of issues or any kind of crashes there.
Yeah.
Because that would have caused a significant delay for a lot of people in that area.
Exactly, yeah. So, and like I say, you know, we are going to see the conditions improve as we head throughout the morning. So that's going to work better for us as far as the weather goes. Still, the traffic issues do linger. That's the only downside of it. It's just all the slowdowns that we've had up to this point that we're still have to get through the system before it's all said and done. So unfortunately, still here, the traffic problems, as we all know.
Yes, and we'll keep our eye on that. And then, you know, just a reminder too, we have quite a few school closings this morning. 2 whole sheets of them. They should be scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. You can always find them over on 13wham.com. We have them all listed there for you as well.
And also a note about the slushiness as well. It's, even though it might be clearing out a little bit, it is kind of slushy on the road, so you might want to take it slow as well.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's get to our poll of the day. Speaking of snow, we're asking you for your big question. What is your favorite snow activity? I would imagine driving in it is not an option. Here we go, the options. Steph, you want to read them?
All right, skiing, snowboarding, building a snowman, snowball fights, or watching from the inside, where it's safe and warm.
I'll take the last one.
Yeah, right? I know. You know, you got to make the best of it, though. It's inevitable. It's happening.
That's right, yeah.
We're in Rochester.
Yeah.
In my case, last week we had the snow that was drifting across the driveway. I said, I don't want to be out there in it. I don't want to deal with it. We had a 4-wheel drive. I took the truck. I drove back up and down the driveway, squished it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Then it melted over the weekend. So
There you go. Problem
I
solved.
watched it from the inside.
Yeah.
It was all good.
Perfect. Hey, we want to know your thoughts and opinions and feelings. Weigh in on our Twitter poll. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. It'll take you to our X page. You can weigh in there, comment, and we'll share some of the answers coming up at the end of the 9 o'clock hour.
And don't forget that you can also watch us wherever you are streaming on YouTube, live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel.
Hey, we have a lot more to get to coming up. We're shopping for the holidays, and there are some tips for maximizing your budget. We'll be right back. We are in the holiday season, and a recent survey shows Americans are planning to spend more on holiday shopping this year than they did last year.
Yeah, and nearly half of the consumers surveyed admit to overspending during the holidays. We're joined now by financial expert Mary Hines-Drosch, talking about some ways to keep your holiday spending under control. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, so just to start off, I feel like it's kind of hard to avoid overspending because you want to get that perfect gift, but what I guess would be a top tip?
Yeah, it's very easy to go over budget and make impulse purchases. So it's really important to, number one, start with a list. Lay out how much you want to spend, who you want to buy for, and exactly what you want to spend on them. And then make the most of that budget. Take advantage of deals. One of the advantages of waiting to the last minute to make a purchase is that you start to see steeper and steeper deals as you get closer to the holiday. And that really will help you make the most of your money. And then if you really want to stick to your budget, a great option is a gift card. Everyone likes a gift card. In our survey, 99% of people said they like them. And you buy a gift card for exactly the amount you want to spend.
I'm wondering if there is a magic number for just how much people are spending over their budget.
There's no magic number, and it really depends on the person. And that's why the more disciplined you are, the more you're able to really come in on your budget. And there's other ways that help you make the most of that. Is often rewards are a great option to offset some of your purchases. In fact, 40% of the people we surveyed said they intend to use rewards in order to offset some of that holiday spend. And also, anytime you're making a purchase, make sure you use a rewards card, because then you can take some of the rewards that you earn to help pay down that bill when you get it in January.
You know, I find that to be really interesting. I got a notification from Starbucks telling me, hey, some of my stars are about to expire. What do you think is sort of a reason that stops people from taking that leap to actually start using the rewards that they've accumulated all year?
Yeah, well, if they're going to expire, use it immediately, because otherwise you'll get no value. Every consumer has their own preferences, and some people like to hoard rewards and see that big number to use for a really big purchase in the future. I personally love to use the 3% cash back I get on my Bank of America customized cash reward card to actually pay down my bill. It makes me feel much better about when I kind of overdo some of those purchases, knowing I can offset them.
All right, so we've talked about the rewards. We've talked about setting a list, setting a budget, using a gift card. What else do you suggest?
Well, one of the things that happens over the holidays is you typically overspend what you traditionally would the rest of the year. So in January, start fresh. Really lay out what your financial goals are and set a budget that you can really stick to throughout the year. And we recommend a 50-30 split. 50% of your after-tax income should go to your necessities like rent, mortgage, insurance. 30% to your wants, like going out to eat, travel, buying gifts, and then 20% to savings. And that, once you set that budget, then really stick to it. Enroll in things that make it easy to save. Like we at Bank of America have Keep the Change, which will roll each debit purchase up to the nearest dollar and move that into a savings account, so it's really mindless and helps build those savings quickly. And then take the time to get educated. There's lots of financial information out there that can really help you make the most of your finances.
That's for sure. I'm wondering if there is anything else from the survey that maybe stuck out to you in terms of responses as people are preparing to get into the new year, but also getting into the holiday season. It's that weird time.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we're seeing both in our survey data as well as our actual debit and credit card data is that the consumer is very strong. You know, as you mentioned, our survey indicated that they were going to spend 7% more on the holiday this year. When we look at the actual data for the week leading up to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, we're seeing a robust 5.3% growth in holiday-related spend. So clearly the consumer is strong. You see higher spending with the more affluent customers than the lower income. But it's just definitely a good sign for the economy that we're in a good shape. The consumer is optimistic, and we're also seeing that more and more of this holiday spending is online. 48% of those that we surveyed said they plan to spend more online. And when we look at our data, we actually saw almost an 8% spend lift in online spending during that week leading up to Black Friday.
Very insightful stuff. Mary, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. Happy holidays. Enjoy the season. And we'll post all of these tips over on foxrochester.com.
All right,
Great.
coming up
Happy
here.
holidays.
Thank you so much. Your ARC Rochester news break, the top stories we're following next. Good Thursday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here's your ARC Rochester news break. Some early morning traffic problems from the snow. In the 5 o'clock hour, you see here a truck jackknifed on 490 near Platt Street. That led to the closure of the on-ramp from Broad to 490. And while covering traffic this morning, the Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker drove by a crash involving 4 cars. This was on 590 South near Highland Avenue. You see exit 2A there. We've reached out to law enforcement on both of these incidents and will obviously provide updates as information becomes available right here and online at 13wham.com. Well, taking a look now at traffic, you are looking at stretches of 390, 490, 590, live real-time traffic data. This is what it looks like as you step outside. 590, seeming like it is a parking lot this morning. Taking a look around the big map, 490 at 441 is moving along steady as it goes, but there is some yellow and red there on the map. Not everything moving too fast. 23 minutes. As for 390, 27 minutes. 390 at Chilite Avenue, moving along surely but surely. early. 390 at 590 was definitely packed earlier this morning, but things are moving along as it seems like plows have gotten through. 390 at Brooks Ave, 490 at Mount Reed. Things moving along again, steady as they go throughout this morning. A lot of that snow still being cleared out, so be careful as you head outside. 590 at Empire Boulevard. You're seeing there 34 minutes. A lot of time, people not really moving in that area, so if you have to head in this direction, be sure to maybe find an alternate route or expect your daily commute to take a bit longer. Taking a look now, I-90 at Henrietta, it is still coming down out there. This road completely covered in snow. So if you are heading in this direction, be sure to take things slow and obviously watch out for cars. It's going to be a bit slushy as you head out in that direction. And we're still working to learn more information this morning about a large police presence in the city's Edgerton neighborhood. Officers were called to this scene you see here on Glendale Park just after 9 o'clock. Investigators say someone broke into a house there and began fighting the people inside. The area was blocked off to traffic as police worked to get people out of the home. Police, though, have not released any other information as the investigation continues. Authorities are releasing more information surrounding the investigation into a son charged with his father's death in Livingston County. According to court paperwork, Richard Flegel Jr. is accused of shooting his father, 60-year-old Richard Flegel Sr., twice with a shotgun. The felony complaint also says Flegel Jr. then allegedly wrapped him in a tarp and dropped him off at the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Authorities say the 30-year-old was not the one who called authorities about the body, but rather his attorney, Brian DeCarlis, from another car. Flegel Jr. has pled not guilty to all charges and is being held in the Livingston County Jail without bail. Police are looking for suspects after an attempted burglary at a Rochester staple. The owner of Nick Tahu's telling 13 WHAM someone broke into the restaurant Sunday or Monday evening and tried to get into his grandfather's antique safe. Alex Tahu believes the suspects cut through the floor from the second story, but thankfully got away empty-handed. Anyone with information on this break-in is asked to call 911. In national news, the NYPD says it now has evidence linking suspect Luigi Mangione to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators say fingerprints found on a water bottle at the crime scene match the ones taken at Mangione's booking. Police also say the gun they found on the 26-year-old matches shell casings found at the scene. He was arrested Monday, where officers found a handwritten note which read in part, quote, "These parasites simply had it coming." Mangione's lawyer tells ABC News his client will plead not guilty and he has seen none of the evidence. President Biden has commuted roughly 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people in the biggest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The White House says this is for people who have served out home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released from prison. Those inmates were released during the pandemic, some to stop the spread of COVID-19. At one point, 1 in 5 prisoners had COVID, according to the Associated Press tally. The 39 pardons were for nonviolent crimes. Biden has said there will be more in the weeks ahead. Now, for all of these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Stick around. Arc Rochester returns right after this.
Park, Rochester. Thanks for being here. I'm Addie Fridman.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. We've got a lot to get to this morning. We do begin with a check on the forecast with meteorologist Marty Snyder. There are a lot of that snow tapering off in some areas, but we know that it is still coming down out there for a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just going to be a case where it's a very typical lake effect event. These bands are going to move around a lot. The focus is pushing south of Rochester, so that's a little better news for the main population center, but areas south and especially southwest, those areas are going to continue to see that snow, and you can see that alignment with a lot of that snow mainly pushing south and southwest. You can see it kind of holding that corridor through northern portions of Wyoming County, southern Genesee, even into northern Livingston County, and very southern Monroe County, mainly south of the Thruway. Mainly it's just an event where it's going to be into portions of Wheatland, Rush, even Mendon at times today, and really not much north of those areas. And as far as additional accumulation goes, I think a lot of that additional accumulation is mainly going to be for those areas south of Rochester. So as we head forward, could see another couple to few inches of snow, especially through portions of Livingston County, Ontario County, maybe just grazing some of those southern Monroe County towns that I mentioned, but more of a focus over into Wyoming County, where those areas could see probably another 4 to 6 inches of snow going forward throughout the day today. So again, main idea, that focus for the snow mainly is to the south, but still a lot of traffic issues across a lot of Monroe County in areas where they have seen the snow, but it's beginning to taper off a little bit, but still those traffic issues do linger.
Yeah, Marty, definitely seeing those traffic issues linger. Let's get a look at time saver traffic right now. We've been seeing those delays out there. Let's see if we can pull up some of the drive times. Yeah, 390 looking better. Improvements there, 490, but 590 is where we're seeing the biggest issues this morning. Many motor vehicle accidents out there earlier. You see 490 at 441 creeping along there. Pretty long drive time there as we head westbound. Pulling up some of the other cameras there. 390 at 590, 390 at Chilai Avenue. Moving, but at a slow pace out there, pulling up 390 at Brooks Avenue and 490 at Matt Reed. Pardon me, my vision is horrible. Looks like we are seeing quite a few slowdowns out there. Those red dots you see on the map indicate disabled vehicles or motor vehicle accidents or sticky spots out there. So if you're getting ready to leave the house, maybe find an alternate route, especially if you're going to be near 590. And then there's a look there. The 90 at Henrietta, we're still seeing some snow over in that area. We were talking about it not too long ago. The difference in areas around the greater Rochester region, it's because of that lake effect snow and the bands that move through the area, right? Could be blue sky a couple miles away and whiteout conditions elsewhere. Pretty interesting.
Well, turning now to a performance in your community, the rock opera Jesus Christ Superstar is coming to Innovation Theater this weekend.
Yeah, on Saturday, and also the iconic opera to life. We're joined by cast member and choral director Rich Green to talk about it. Thank you for being here.
It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
You've got to be excited, right? This is one of those iconic operas. I mean, Andrew Lloyd Webber is amazing. His work, everybody knows it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is, it's something that's from my childhood, actually. You know, when I was like 12 years old, played the album over and over. And it's incredibly complex music, but at the same time, incredibly accessible. And that's the wonder and magic of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And we have a group of people who are, you know, all musicians who play in gigs or play gigs in bands all around Rochester all the time, getting together especially to do this and presenting it exactly as it was originally presented, the album. It was one of those strange kinds of things where usually with a stage play, musical, they'll present the play first on stage and then make the cast album. But in this case, Andrew Lloyd Webber did something different where he went into the studio and recorded all the music first. And so this was everybody's first, look or listen to Jesus Christ Superstar as a production. And so that was the thing that got me hooked on it when I was a kid. And the two folks in the group that's putting this on right now, Steve Bartolotta, who plays Jesus Christ, and Tim Henke, who is our musical director, they were playing a gig not too long ago together, driving home from this gig late at night and talking about how much they love this album. They listen to it all the time, and they thought we should really we should do this. We should put this on. And so it's like a labor of love for them. And once I found out that they were doing it, it's like, can I be part of it? You know? And now I am, and it's just so much fun and such great people we have. It's a cast of like 15, I think, 15 or 16 of us. It's hard to keep count of everybody, but it's just, like I say, it's a labor of love. It's wonderful music, and it's presented in the way it was originally presented, as a rock opera, not as a stage show. It's not like, you know, people acting and stuff like that, that we try to emote, but it's really just presented as a rock concert, as it really was intended to, and we're very proud of it.
For sure. I am a huge musical theater fan. I took it in high school twice, and I love it so much. We did a whole unit on Andrew Lloyd Webber. I'm wondering how you go about honoring, obviously, the obvious original vision, while also having your own creativity sort of blended in through there.
Well, I think that's kind of unavoidable. As musicians, we tend to kind of put our own personalities into things. And this is really the trick for us, or the challenge, is that we're doing the best that we can to present the music exactly as possible as it was presented on that original album. And so in some ways, we're trying to like not project ourselves onto it. And that can be really hard, especially, you know, as a musician, you always want to try to put your own spin on things, but in our attempt and efforts to be true to the original, we try to kind of keep that sort of in the back pocket, maybe, and not as out front as maybe you would normally do. So yeah, it's kind of almost counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I want to know, because you were just talking about how every song is iconic, right? You listen to the soundtrack frequently, probably in the car, blasting at your house, whatever it is. Is there a specific song or a specific set of songs that you're particularly excited to take part in?
Well, the part of Pontius Pilate is kind of a small part, but man, it's a powerful one. There's one song in the first act called Pilate's Dream. It's an acoustic, kind of a folky sort of thing, and it's just two guitars, bass, and Pilate singing, and it's about this dream where he foresees this interaction that he has with Jesus. And I think, if I understand this correctly, and I don't know this from firsthand knowledge, but apparently in the Bible story, there is it's actually Pilate's wife who has the dream and tells him about it, but for dramatic reasons, it's Pilate in the original, and it's a very intimate song, and one that's where it's this foreboding kind of thing that's happening, because he can kind of see what's going to happen eventually with Jesus. So that's really a challenge to do, and very enjoyable. And the second act, Pontius Pilate, I'm talking about my own stuff. I hope that's okay. But yeah, it's great. Because there's this whole thing where the crowd turns against Jesus. We read it in the Bible, whatever, and he makes up his mind that he's just gonna, all right, I'm gonna sentence you to death. I'm gonna wash my hands of all this, and that is an incredibly dramatic moment. And to say, and he says, "Die if you want to, you misguided martyr." Oh, and it's so stirring. So those are two of my favorites in terms of performance. Yeah. But I have to say that my favorite piece, though, is the very, very first, the overture. Sorry, the overture of the thing is just so powerful. It kind of gives you a glimpse into all the music you're going to hear in the show, and it's just absolutely exciting. It sets the mood for the entire piece.
Makes me want to listen to it. It's been a minute. For those watching at home who want to come by and see the show, when, where, how do they get tickets?
Okay, it's this Saturday. We start at 7:30 at the theater at Innovation Square in downtown Rochester. And they can get tickets at the Innovation Square Theater box office. Also, we have a Jesus Christ Superstar Rochester Facebook page, and there's a link to the tickets there as well. And if you're friends with any musicians that are in it, we've sent you the links like crazy. So yes, so we're very excited about it.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. We'll have all that information on our website, foxrochester.com. Now, after the break, how you can celebrate National Gingerbread House Day right here in Rochester.
We're back after this. 8:41, welcome back. Today is a day to celebrate the architectural wonders that are good enough to eat.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's right. We're talking about gingerbread houses. Dozens of these sweet creations are now on display inside the George Eastman Museum.
On this National Gingerbread House Day, we're joined by Eliza Bennington from the museum to talk about all of the tasty creations for this year. Eliza, I would imagine that nobody's actually eating the gingerbread houses there at the Eastman Museum.
We hope not. Certainly not at the museum. We hope not when they take them home too, because you can bid on them and take one home if you want. And they truly are architectural wonders. This year surpasses others as far as what we have on display.
So let's get into it. Tell us a little bit about what's going down at the museum.
Yep, so it's the 29th year of Sweet Creations, which is where we have dozens of gingerbread creations. So summer houses, summer trains, many local landmarks. Strong Museum and National Museum of Women, National Susan B. Anthony Museum is also depicted, but then also Donuts Delight and Cheesy Eddie's. So really a lot of creativity. So it's just a great annual tradition at the museum.
How neat is
Yeah,
that?
29 years. How do you go about topping year after year?
It's the bakers. And they're not all professional bakers. In fact, very few. Most of them are families, friends that get together, just people who have amazing creativity, and we're always just in awe of what they come up with each year. And then we have our tabletop trees as well. So similarly, just beautiful, creative themes depicted in these tabletop trees.
How does this whole process work? So do people enter in previous gingerbread houses to get into the museum and then create something new for this exhibit? How does it work?
Anybody who's interested can submit one. So we open it up around July or August, where we invite people to let us know if we'd like to do one, if they'd like to do one. We do have a lot of repeats, so we have people that we know are going to come back year after year. But throughout the display, we'll have people ask, how do I submit? And they just give us their name and email, and we put them on the list, and we hope that they'll be interested in doing it the next year.
I'm also wondering, having put together a terrible gingerbread house in my time, how you sort of go about preserving, or if there are certain materials that those that put them together sort of work with to make it all just gel correctly.
So we do have one requirement, which is to use royal icing, and royal icing is sort of a glue-like substance, but fondant too holds together pretty well. I know only because my sister-in-law makes one every year, and she creates ahead of time. She'll do different models where she'll do it in cardboard first, and then foam or sponge, that sort of thing, just to sort of test it to see how it's going to hold up. But then also the trick is to spray it afterwards with unbelievable hairspray, Aquanet, like the old-fashioned,
yeah.
and that kind of holds it. My mom had one for many years that she kept, that she had bid on and brought home.
No way.
Yeah.
That's very cool. How much do these go for typically?
So it really ranges, but it can be very affordable for some, up into the hundreds of dollars for others, depending on how sort of over the top some of them are. But all of this benefits the museum, so we're really appreciative of anybody who bids, and then, as I said, they can take it home and have it for many years.
That is so cool. Now, if anybody does want to enter in any bids, where could they sort of go to say, all right, I want to claim this one?
Yep, so they can look it up just online through the museum's website, accessible also via phone by the mobile site, and they can look at the auction and see photos of them, but there's nothing like seeing them in person. So when they come to the museum, they see them, they can scan a QR code or go on our website, check it out, put in their bid. They can put in an auto bid, so if they know they really want it, they can put in a high bid, and they'll just keep getting bumped up until if they want to win it, they're going to get it.
Eliza, have you ever seen Cake Boss on TV?
I love Cake Boss.
Okay, so in the 29 years that you that Eastman Museum has been doing this, have there ever been any incidents, like always the ones that happen on Cake Boss, where it's like they're down to the last final minutes and then they drop one of the layers, or the house falls apart, or anything like that?
So we have had both on times of delivery, because people are very nervous as they're driving in their car. That's the last leg, is to get it to us in one piece. So we have had some times where there's been a little bit of an accident when they've arrived. In many times we can fix that. We can help them fix it. There was one, I won't share which one this year because you can't tell, but there was a little bit of an accident. Some that unfortunately then they have to drop out because they weren't able to get it to us. So those we don't see, so it's not as public as Cake Boss. But more often than not, it's really incredible how well they stay together. And we put these protective plastic bonnets over them, which is what also keeps people from eating them. But that helps preserve them so that we don't have kids poking at them and that sort of thing. So that's how they last, and we hopefully they'll last till January 5th, which is how it's the longest we've ever had it up this year. So
very good. Excellent.
Yeah, and for anybody that does want to stop by, should they plan ahead, like RSVP, for example?
So people can just come to the door. Sometimes we do suggest getting tickets in advance because it makes your check-in a little quicker on busy, particularly on the weekend days. We do get the biggest crowds, but they don't have to buy tickets in advance. They can do it on site. And then we also have some wonderful holiday films too. So we have a lot that's happening around the holidays to celebrate all the way through the new year.
Very good. Eliza, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. And we'll put all of the event information for you over on foxrochester.com.
And coming up, it's gift giving season. We'll have some tips for students on what you can get your teachers for the holidays. We're back after this. Welcome back, 8:49. Finding the perfect holiday gift for your child's favorite teacher doesn't have to be a difficult task.
Yeah, Susan Starrett from Sylvan Learning Center has done her holiday homework. She's here to talk about the ABCs of gift giving. Thanks for being here, Susan. Always good to see you.
Nice to see you.
I like whoever wrote this, your child's favorite teacher. That made me laugh a little bit. That was hilarious. So you work with students of all different ages. What do you think is like the best gift that a teacher could get?
Well, you know, with gift giving to teachers, it really is the thought that counts. So think about that when you're giving a gift. But, you know, teachers love to get gifts too. First, no matter what, they love a handwritten note. If you can just have your child write a note to their teacher, share and reflect about what's important about that school year to that student, why they love that teacher, why it is their favorite teacher, you know, and really will make the teacher feel so good that they're impacting kids and that they're making a difference. If you have a little one, you know, they can draw a picture, or you can write out the teacher's name, and they can think of an adjective by each of those letters to kind of describe the teacher. But don't forget high school teachers either, because they love to get notes from their kids too. They put a lot into it as well and like to hear that they're making a difference. But if you do want to give a gift, the number one gift that teachers love is probably gift cards. So if you feel comfortable doing that, I know that's always appreciated. Gift cards to their favorite coffee place if your child knows where they like to go, before school in the morning, or gift cards to Barnes & Noble or Target or Michael's, things that teachers really appreciate. Some people don't feel comfortable giving gift cards, and so giving maybe a personalized gift for the classroom. If your child knows my teacher always wears fun socks every day, or collects, note cards, or likes to do stamps on our papers, thinking of maybe giving something like that to kind of add to their collection.
Absolutely. I'm thinking about all of the different gems that my teachers had over the years. Maybe it was a monogram mug or something. I remember my theater teacher. She had world's best theater teacher mug, for example. Things like that. Do you think it's better than going maybe the traditional supply route with pencils and erasers, things like that?
Yeah, teachers love something that's personalized, that makes them feel like, you thought about them. And it also helps your kids learn an important lesson about gift giving, that it's not just about like buying something for somebody, but really thinking about something that they would value personally. And that's, something they can carry with them, whether it's to family members or to friends or to those valued teachers. So really talking with your child about what makes your teacher special to you, what does your teacher like, what is unique about your teacher, and then maybe trying to come up with a fun gift together, because they'll definitely treasure those things forever.
And you know what I like about all the different options that you gave? It's a different price point that can, fit anybody's need or want, right? You can have something homemade that costs nothing, and it's just, genuine emotion and feeling that's a great gift. Or, you can splurge and add it into your budget and spend a little bit of cash.
Absolutely. And the whole range is good. Teachers are going to appreciate all of that. You can make some fun homemade gifts. One of my favorite gifts that I made with my kids is a glass mason jar that we made to look like a snowman, and then put ingredients inside, one time for hot chocolate, another time to make some of our favorite cookies, so that they can kind of make some of those things at home. That's kind of a fun gift to give teachers too. You can get really creative and make great things. Some parents are amazing. I'm not as good at that as others, but it's you can spend that time at home. It's the thought, it's the time, it's the investment, and to help your child learn that gift giving and just giving of themselves and their time is an important skill.
Absolutely. And for anybody who may want to connect with you or just, keep up with these amazing tips, where can they find you?
They can always find me at Sylvan, and we're always glad to help.
Very good. And will you help with, let's say those poems or the haikus or anything like that?
We do teach that, how to write poetry, letter writing, and then put a little holiday twist on it for sure.
Very good. Susan Starren, always good to see you. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
To you too, my friend. Time right now is 8:54.
Just ahead here, your ARC Rochester news break. The top stories we're following this morning. Coming up next.
8:57 on this Thursday morning. I'm Abby Fridman. Thanks for tuning in. Here is your ARC Rochester news break. We had some early morning traffic issues from all that snow out there in the 5 o'clock hour. You see right here a truck jackknifed on 490 near Platt Street. That led to the closure of the on-ramp from Broad until 490. And you can see that car there backing up. Meantime, while covering traffic earlier, the Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker drove by a crash involving 4 cars. This pile up on 590 South near Highland Avenue. We've reached out to law enforcement for both of these incidents. We'll give you updates as soon as those become available to us. Taking a look at time saver traffic and your morning drive, still quite a few slowdowns out there. 390's looking better, but 490 and 590 still seeing some significant delays. We've had incidents around the big map all morning long. 490 at 441 still moving along pretty slow out there. A live look. 90 at Henrietta. We've seen snow there for quite some time. Traffic has died down a little bit, which is good news. It was a parking lot not too long ago, but things are moving along just fine now. A live look 390 at Chilai Avenue. Quite a few cars out there trying to get to their destinations. We are still working to learn more information this morning about a large police presence in the city's Edgerton neighborhood. Take a look. Officers were called to this scene on Glendale Park just after 9 o'clock. Investigators say someone broke into a house there and began fighting the people inside. That area was blocked off to traffic as police worked to get people out of the home. Police have not shared any other information as that investigation continues today. Authorities are releasing more information surrounding the investigation into a son charged with his father's death in Livingston County. According to court paperwork, Richard Flegel Jr. is accused of shooting his father, 60-year-old Richard Flegel Sr., twice with a shotgun. The felony complaint also says Flegel Jr. then allegedly wrapped his father in a tarp and dropped him off at the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Authorities say the 30-year-old was not the one who called authorities about the body, but his attorney, Brian DeCarlis, did from another car. Flegel Jr. has pleaded not guilty to all charges. He's being held in the Livingston County Jail without bail. In national news, the NYPD says it has now received evidence linking suspect Luigi Mangione to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators say fingerprints found on a water bottle at the crime scene match the ones taken at Mangione's booking. Police also say the gun they found on the 26-year-old matches shell casings found at the scene. He was arrested on Monday, where officers found a handwritten note. Mangione's lawyer telling ABC News his client will plead not guilty, and he's seen none of the evidence. For these top stories and new developments, visit 13wham.com. Stick around. We have another hour of ARC Rochester after this. 9 o'clock on this December 12th. Thanks so much for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Ferdman.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. As you heard Abby say, welcome back to ARC Rochester. We've got a lot to get to this hour, but first we want to jump right into the things you need to know as you start your day.
Yeah. Our morning has been pretty much focused on winter weather. Some slippery roads out there to kick things off. I don't know if we've got some problems going on with our cameras right now, but let's see if we can pull up our video from earlier. The Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker out and about for us early today. Drove by, here we go, this crash on 590 near Highland Avenue. Multiple vehicles involved. We counted 4 that were involved in this pileup early this morning. This was right around 5 o'clock.
And then there was a tractor trailer jackknifed at the 490 on-ramp at Broad Street. You see here, and obviously we have some more videos showing a car actually having to back out of going onto the on-ramp there because it was just blocked off.
Yeah, different road conditions all morning long. It's been a slick, slippery morning commute. Let's try to pull up some of our traffic cameras right now to show off some of the things that we've got going on around the big map this morning. 390 has cleared up significantly. 490 is looking better, but 590 is where we've seen most of the problems throughout the morning.
Yes, that is for sure. You're seeing that red there. Live traffic data right now. 490 at 441. Things are continuing to move along there, but obviously not as fast as they probably are used to. 14 minutes there, but that's not the worst that we've seen of it. I-90 at Henrietta. Definitely the snow still coming down around there. Not too many cars out on the road, but if you do have to head in this direction, you do see some people going out and about there. Make sure that you are mindful that the snow is still coming down, using wipers, keeping distance, taking it slow.
Yeah, we've been keeping our eye on things all morning long. More updates to come on some of these motor vehicle accidents that have impacted your morning drive. We've reached out to officials to get more information. In the meantime, you see that slowdown there, 590 at Empire Boulevard. Still a sticky spot over there. We'll keep our eye on things. We're past the peak of rush hour right now. We're expecting things to clear up significantly within the next couple minutes or so. More information to come.
Yeah, and with travel on the mind and thinking ahead, AAA has released its predictions for this upcoming holiday travel period.
Yeah, they're projecting more than 119 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more over the holidays at the end of the year.
Yeah, and that travel period is between December 21st to January 1st. Now, if you're going by car, they're predicting 107 million will head out on the roads.
By air, 7.85 million. 7.85 will be traveling by air. Previous travel record was set in 2019. 119 million people headed out for the holiday season.
Now, as for this year, that is expected to narrowly break that record by 0.1%.
There you go. AAA says car travel is high because gas prices are low. We know that airplane tickets are pretty expensive. Traffic delays are expected to be worse the weekends before Christmas and before New Year's.
Now, what's the worst day to travel by car, that is? December 22nd. Seems pretty in line with...
Yeah, that's what you'd expect, right? No data on worst travel days for air. I would imagine it would line up pretty significantly with December 22nd as well.
Yeah. Now, while we think ahead to the holidays again, deadlines to ship those gifts are quickly approaching.
Yeah, USPS has a deadline for continental U.S. ground shipping. It's December 18th.
Wow.
It's going to be here before you know it.
Yeah. And then for priority mail, it is December 21st.
For FedEx, 5-day shipping is December 17th. Same-day shipping deadline is December 24th. Obviously, if you want to get it there by Christmas, same day. And for UPS, you have until December 19th or December 23rd with next day air.
I gotta get a move on.
I know, me too. I was just thinking that, like, not done with the holiday shopping just yet.
At all.
It's time to wrap it up here.
That's for sure. All right, so now we're going to take you behind the story of a local headline that we have been talking about.
A break-in straight out of a movie at one of Rochester's iconic restaurant. Nick Tahu's, the owner, Alex Tahu, realized that somebody broke into the restaurant at some point when he got to work on Tuesday.
Yeah, our Christian Garzone actually covered this story and posted a video to X showing the damage here. Let's see if we can play that. Yeah, you can see there, straight out of a Hollywood film is what we were told. You can see that in our super as well. Tahu says someone tried to access his grandfather's antique safe in the office.
Investigators say the suspect broke in upstairs, cut a hole in the floor, which is what you're looking at there, went through the ceiling of the first floor, then entered the office.
Tahu actually explained exactly what he saw. Let's see if we can hear from him.
I know, it was made for Hollywood, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I got here yesterday morning, came in as normal, turned the alarm off, walked to the door in the office, opened the door, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw a pile of rubble on the ground. Then I saw the safe with somebody had tried to cut, they made a square box around the dial of the safe, obviously with some kind of grinder, and then attempt to get in. Then I look up and I see that the ceiling panel is gone. I'm trying to figure out how did they get in without setting the alarm?
Yeah, an investigation is obviously still ongoing. Alex, though, has said that maybe it could be someone he knows because they obviously knew the layout.
Yeah, Tahu, though, is keeping a positive outlook on things. Let's hear from him now.
After 71 years on the earth, and when you see what happens every day, nobody was hurt, nobody died, it's really, really small thing. And it just, I'm not really upset by it. I don't know what to tell you other than that, but you know, it happens, you take care of it, and you keep going.
I love it.
You can't thrive on things that you can't control.
Yeah, good advice there from Mr. Tahu. Got to focus on the things you can control and you can't control. Props to him for having a good security system.
Yes.
And, you know, thankfully nobody was hurt.
That's for sure. Nothing was taken, too, so.
Yep.
Another great bright side. All right, coming up here on ARC Rochester, it's respiratory illness season. We'll get some advice from a pediatrician on how to deal with walking pneumonia.
Welcome back. Cases of walking pneumonia in children and teens are surging across the country.
Dr. Elizabeth Murray from the Golisano Children's Hospital is here now to talk with us about why we're seeing such a resurgence and some of the symptoms parents should look out for. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So let's start out with what exactly walking pneumonia is. It's not new, but we are seeing that resurgence.
No. And walking pneumonia is actually a kind of a category of illness. It can be caused by different germs, and it's generally a pneumonia that you don't feel as sick. Usually your oxygen levels are okay. You can kind of participate with the world a little bit instead of really being knocked down, dragged out ill, or hospitalized in most cases. Right now, the most common germ that seems to be causing it is this Mycoplasma pneumonia, which we know about, which we've seen. It's just we're seeing an awful lot of it this year.
So what are some of the symptoms here?
So it's going to be the cough and the cold and the fevers like we see with all the other winter respiratory illnesses. But usually what you see is kind of the symptoms start and they stay. You know, most other kind of coughs and colds, you kind of have an evolution of the symptoms, or kind of you feel it kind of ramping up, but they kind of come on and then they stay, and they seem to last a little bit longer. Your child is kind of disproportionately unwell for many days instead of just 2 or 3, and that cough is really harsh and wet. The littler kids, sometimes they even have some GI symptoms with it too, so it can be a little bit of everything.
I'm wondering, you know, it is similar in terms of symptoms of everything else that we're dealing with this season. When do you sort of know when things should we should go to a doctor, for example, or maybe even the hospital?
Well, certainly anytime you're worried about your child's breathing, if they're struggling to breathe or they're having difficulty, or maybe they have a history of asthma and it's kind of triggered an asthma exacerbation, of course you want to seek care for that, or if you really feel your child is dehydrated. But for this, it's you know, if you really are dealing with 3, 4, even 5 days of fevers and no change in the symptoms with that harsher cough, check in with your child's doctor. And the reason here is this is one germ that actually an antibiotic would be helpful for. All the other stuff we deal with the majority of the times this time of year, those are viruses and they don't need antibiotics, but this one actually does need an antibiotic.
One of those things we talk about it every year, especially at the start of flu season, but it's worth mentioning again. Important hygiene when it comes to covering your cough, covering your sneeze, so on and so forth.
All those things. I think, you know, kids actually have become really good at the covering your cough and sneeze. You know, the pandemic really taught a lot of kids that, so I do think they're getting better and understanding the importance of hand washing. You know, the general good rule of thumb, we do it in my house, is when we come home from errands or come home from the school day, anytime you're entering back into the house, everybody goes and washes their hands. Certainly washing hands before any kind of mealtime or snack, or after you're blowing your nose, you want to do that too. And then, you know, have a plan in place. Your child will have an illness this year that was going to cause them to need to stay home from school. We can just about guarantee that. Not everybody, but in general, that's what happens this time of year. And so trying to have a plan of how are you going to flex with work, what's the daycare situation going to look like, how are you going to be able to handle it, because that can be really, really challenging, certainly if everybody in the family, all the adults in the family need to go to work.
For sure. And I'm also wondering, I know that symptoms sort of linger for this, but what does onset sort of look like? How many days once you're exposed to whatever virus and move on?
It can be really dependent on the germ. You know, flu is a notorious one for when feeling like you got hit by a truck. You're fine, and then boom, you're not. RSV, for the younger children, can give them a tremendous amount of mucus, but for bigger kids and adults, which is kind of an annoying runny nose, symptoms usually get the worst around day 3 to 5 of the illness. This pneumonia kind of comes on with a little bit of everything at once, maybe just progresses for a day or so, but again, you've got those fevers and the cough, maybe some throat pain as well, and maybe some stomach upset.
I know you mentioned when you start to worry about your child's breathing, you should go see a doctor, you should go to the hospital. I'm wondering if there's like a magic number when it comes to days. How many days of having a sick kid until you say, okay, there's really something wrong here?
Yeah, so it depends on the age. For an infant, certainly anybody under 2 or 3 months of age, any fever at all of 100.4 degrees or higher, that's considered a medical emergency, actually. So they need to see a doctor if they have a fever. For the bigger infants and toddlers and preschoolers, we expect them to have about 8 to 10 illnesses a year. And so, you know, a couple days of fevers or a dramatic change in the symptoms. In the other big general rule of thumb is true fevers more than 5 days, they should definitely be evaluated by a medical provider.
Wow. Okay, good advice. Dr. Elizabeth Murray, thank you so much for your time today. We really, really appreciate it. What's your last piece of advice for anybody watching?
get your flu shot, get your COVID booster, and wash your hands, and then wash them again.
Yeah, great advice.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Time right now is 9:18. Coming up, we have an ARC Rochester news break, the stories we're following this morning.
Welcome back this Thursday morning. I'm Stephanie Joseph. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's your ARC Rochester news break. Some early morning traffic problems from the snow. In the 5 o'clock hour, a truck jackknifed on 490 near Platt Street. That led to the closure of the on-ramp from Broad to 490. And while covering traffic this morning, the Van Bortle Subaru mobile weather tracker drove by a crash involving 4 cars. This was on 590 South near Highland Avenue. You saw exit 2A there. We've reached out to law enforcement on both of these incidents, and we'll bring you updates as information becomes available right here and on 13wham.com. Taking a look at traffic cameras this morning, stretches of 390, 490 and 590 listed right there on your screen. Things are actually looking a bit better in terms of your normal drive times around this time. There is still that slight delay on 590. Let's take a look here around the big map. You are seeing a little bit of yellow there. Things are moving along at 490, but not very quickly. 11 minutes if you're going around in that area. As we look to other places, I-90 at Henrietta, the flakes still definitely coming down over there. You see some cars out there. People are obviously taking it slow. If you have to head in this direction, be mindful, slow down, allow for enough space between you and other drivers on the road this morning. And we're still working to learn more information this morning about a large police presence in the city's Edgerton neighborhood. Officers were called to this scene here on Glendale Park just after 9 o'clock. Investigators say someone broke into a house there and began fighting the people inside. The area was blocked off to traffic as police worked to get people out of the home. Police have not released any other information as this investigation is ongoing. Authorities are releasing more information surrounding the investigation into a son charged with his father's death in Livingston County. According to court paperwork, Richard Flegel Jr. is accused of shooting his father, 60-year-old Richard Flegel Sr., twice with a shotgun. The felony complaint also says Flegel Jr. then allegedly wrapped him in a tarp and dropped him off at the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Authorities say the 30-year-old was not the one who called authorities about the body, but rather his attorney, Brian DeCarlis, from another car. Flegel Jr. has pleaded not guilty to all charges and is being held in the Livingston County Jail without bail. In national news, the NYPD says it now has evidence linking suspect Luigi Mangione to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators say fingerprints found on a water bottle at the crime scene match the ones taken at Mangione's booking. Police also say the gun they found on the 26-year-old matches shell casings found at the scene. He was arrested Monday, where officers found a handwritten note. Mangione's lawyer telling ABC News his client will plead not guilty and he has seen none of the evidence. President Biden has commuted roughly 1,500 sentences and pardoned 39 people in the biggest single-day act of clemency in modern history. The White House says the commutations are for people who have served out home confinement sentences for at least 1 year after they were released from prison. The 39 pardons were for nonviolent crimes. Biden has said there will be more in the weeks ahead. Now, for all of these top stories and any new updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Stay with us. ARC Rochester is back right after this.
9:28. Welcome back. This morning we're going behind the story. One of the top headlines we're following in our area, a man now facing murder charges after turning in his father's body to authorities in Livingston County.
Joining us now is our very own Natalie Calzatoni, who has been following this story since the very beginning and can obviously share more with us. Multiple days that you've been following this. Tell us a little bit about, this story, just a brief summary, but also the new updates that we learned yesterday.
Absolutely. So it began on Sunday when Richard Flegel Sr. left Irondequoit, never returned. Family filed a missing persons report. Monday morning, authorities found his car in a Tops parking lot in Dansville. And then later that night, the 911 center received a call that there was a man in the parking lot that wanted to turn in a dead body. This ended up being Richard Flegel Jr., who was taken into custody. He's now facing murder, weapon, and evidence tampering charges, pleading not guilty to all charges. As of yesterday, we did learn some new information. We learned that there is a property on Bonner Road in Ocean. They believe that is the scene of the homicide. We also got some court paperwork detailing that they believe that Richard Jr. shot his father with a 12-gauge shotgun and then wrapped his body up in a tarp before handing it over to authorities.
This has been a story, Natalie, that has picked up a lot of attention online. It's a very, very big case. Wondering, have we heard from friends and family about the kind of person that Richard Sr. was? Anything like that?
We did speak to a friend. Carly Miner had spoken with a friend, and we've just heard nothing but great things about them. Obviously, the sheriff mentioned in the press conference yesterday that they are hurting, and just heard how great of a guy he is all across social media.
Yeah. And also, I'm wondering, what do we know about the property on Bonner Road, is it? Bonner
Road, yeah, in Ocean. So we're not sure if Richard Jr. lived there. They think that he operated a weed growing business there. That's all we know about it at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine we even heard from authorities there, the sheriff talking in Livingston County, about something like this not really happening. What have you sort of heard from authorities about a case like this? And I know that there was a twist in finding out who actually reported the body being dropped off.
Yes, there was. Yeah, the sheriff said many times this is a very abnormal case, not a normal situation. We did find out that the suspect was not the one that called the 911 center. It was his attorney, Brian DeCarlis, who called the 911 center to report that there was a body. He was in a separate vehicle. And the sheriff did mention this. We didn't know this Monday. He mentioned it Tuesday. I did talk to Brian after the fact, and he told me he received a call from Richard Jr. late Monday night saying, I have this body in my car, and I recognize that I need counsel. So he arrived with him in the separate vehicle to report the body.
And we just discovered that yesterday. That was new information that was released. I'm wondering what the next step is. This is a case that he's pleading not guilty to, so likely will go through the entirety of the court system here.
Yes, it will. So the next steps here, he is due for a preliminary hearing Monday in both courts. So he's facing the murder and weapons charges in Ocean, and he's facing the evidence tampering in Geneseo. So he's going to have two separate court dates on Monday, and that's currently where we're at with that.
Yeah, certainly a lot to follow here. And I know that we were also learning a little bit of background about Richard Flegel Jr. So he's faced previous charges, a convicted felon according to the sheriff's office, but not necessarily in Livingston County?
Yeah, we don't know a lot about that yet. We know that he has 2 prior felony convictions, none in Livingston County. He is a City of Rochester resident, although, like we said, he has that business in Ocean, so he has some ties to Livingston County, but not sure what those are yet.
So I just want to go back for a second to Sunday. Richard Sr. left Irondequoit. Sorry, I'm just trying to go through the timeline. Left Irondequoit, 2 p.m. That was the last time his family heard from him, yes?
Yes.
His car was discovered in the Tops parking lot in Dansville, is that correct?
Yes.
So how long did it take for them to file a missing persons report?
That I'm not sure of.
Okay.
I know that Richard Sr. was supposed to be on a work flight later that night, and it was abnormal, from what I've heard from authorities, that he didn't come back. And if I would have to guess, probably Sunday they filed that missing persons report.
For sure. And I know that we've been reporting about it in the morning, but it's not just the murder charge that Richard Flegel Jr. is facing. What other charges, I know it's sort of developed throughout the weeks, will he be facing?
Yeah, so there's the second-degree murder charges, and then there's the weapon charges in Ashen that, according to court paperwork, most likely does have to do with the 12-gauge shotgun. And then the evidence tampering has to do with the body being brought to the sheriff's office. The court paperwork kind of spelled out that he had wrapped the body in a black and gray tarp and put it in his Audi and then brought it. So those are the current charges he's facing.
Spoke yesterday with his attorney. I'm wondering if we can play his sound right now because he has an interesting perspective on this. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, we don't rule it out because we have to figure out typically we don't investigate attorneys, but when you have a homicide, everything's investigated. What's the timeline? When did the attorney get involved? What physical evidence is there? All those different things, but it certainly is a different situation, and I don't want to make it sound like, well, the defense attorney's under investigation for homicide. No, but it's something we absolutely consider of while we're working through this very methodically. How did that occur?
All right, you're obviously hearing from Livingston County representatives right there, not the defense attorney. I'm curious to know how that conversation with him went, though, when you spoke with him yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sheriff did say his name in the press conference, so he was expecting to get a couple calls. The sheriff made it very clear he was not involved in the crime whatsoever. When I talked to him, he kind of explained to me, while this is an abnormal situation, somebody has a body in their car, it's not necessarily abnormal to ask for counsel. So he said abnormal situation, but not super abnormal that he was a part of it, reporting it in that way.
All right. Natalie, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it. We know that you will continue to keep your eye on this story. A lot of developments to come within the next couple days and weeks. We'll keep you updated on 13wham.com as always.
Hey, stick around. We're back after this.
Talk Rochester. Thanks for being here. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Stephanie Joseph. We've got a lot more to get to this half hour of Arc Rochester, so let's get right into our next guest. Happening tomorrow night, Rise Up Rochester is hosting its Day of Remembrance for families of homicide victims, giving them an opportunity to come together in support.
Yeah, this morning we're joined now by Rise Up Rochester founder Wanda Ridgway and Retha Rogers to tell us more about the event and why it is so important. Good morning to you both. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much for all the work that you're doing for our community.
Thank you for having us.
For those who are unfamiliar, would you mind starting out by talking about what Rise Up Rochester does?
So Rise Up Rochester, we're a non-for-profit in the city that empowers the community to establish and maintain a nonviolent culture. So we provide a lot of support to crime victims and their families, anything from support to mentoring. We have a hospital-based program, and we do provide wraparound services for victims of violence.
Absolutely. And having spoken to a lot of members, a part of this organization firsthand, I really understand that work, and it really is important. I want to talk about the Day of Remembrance, for example. Why is it so important to create this space for families after a tragedy?
So, you know, holidays are difficult, you know, especially when you lose someone to violence. So we try to come together and let people know that they're not alone. You can continue to live. We have encouraging words, just a day for, you know, for us to, you know, to be together. We always call it the club that nobody wants to belong to. But we have created some good friendships, made so many memories, some great memories. And I'm excited because, you know, this year we're adding a different little flavor to it. We have Grand Tone and Lady Star, who is going to be our host. We have Carlton Wilcox, who's going to be you know, giving us music. We have DJ by Khadijah is going to be there. And so it's going to be fun-filled, some raffles. We're going to give out some wellness raffles and just let people know it's okay. You know, we get it. You know, as a survivor of gun violence, you know, I understand, we all understand oh so well. So we just want to be there to support them.
This organization, this nonprofit, has to be a light for so many families in a very, very dark time. How do you get in contact with them? Do you reach out to them? Do they reach out to you?
So yes, a little both. We get a lot of referrals. They reach out to us. Retha is one of the coordinators for this Moving Forward support group. We get a lot of referrals, so, and we just, you know, they come to attend the support group and yeah.
Yeah, and Retha, just to hear from you, what is it like being a coordinator?
It gave me strength because, as she said, I lost my son to gun violence, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be able to speak, and knowing to help other family members or mothers that experience the things that I went through, to let them know that in the midst of the trials and traumas that we're going through, we still could live and enjoy life.
I imagine that the holidays would be a very hard time. Do you, both of you, find comfort in helping other people?
Absolutely. We have a weekend event. We have our Christmas party that's on Sunday as well. It just brings joy, you know, to see that people hear you, you know. That's why we changed up the service of remembrance a little, you know, because we listened to what the mothers, you know, said they were experiencing when sitting through that service. It's like reliving a funeral again. This one, no, it's not. We're going to be up, we're going to be dancing, and you know, it's going to be just a different thing. But I really love to see the looks on their faces.
For sure.
Yes.
And I've seen Rise Up Rochester boots on the ground. It's really immediately in the midst of tragedy. Outreach members, they're out in the community. Where do you sort of see things sort of developing as you go along? Anything about the current work that you're doing that you want to highlight?
Oh, we're doing a lot right now. Yeah. So I think our biggest thing is our Boys to Men mentoring program. It's new. We're in our 3rd cohort. This is our biggest cohort. It's just mentoring to those young men, giving them the tools to be able to be productive citizens in the city of Rochester or wherever they may go. Give them experience and taking them out of the city, just showing them different things, college tours. Some of them may not be going to college. Got some skills trades, you know, some we're going to be introducing to them. So we're just showing them, you know, that they don't have to be the product of their, you know, the situation that they're in. There's hope for you.
Yeah.
So.
Wanda, Retha, thank you both so much for your time today. We appreciate it. One last time, for those who want to come by the Christmas event, how can they do so?
Well, it's going to be Sunday at 41 Bacchus Street, the Stardust, from 1 to 4.
All right.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Time right now is 9:43. A lot more to get to. We're back after this.